Esther de Lange MEP. The EU referendum in the UK is now approaching. What would you say to British voters?
Well, I'd say that I come from the Netherlands and we've always felt very close to the UK. We're a medium-sized country, but if you look at it on a global scale, we're all rather small, which is why I think that it is in the interest of my citizens, my voters, to actually stand together and improve the EU from within, of course, but stay in. And I hope that the British people, when they go to the ballot boxes, make that same decision.
The Netherlands has had a referendum recently. Are there any lessons learned from the Dutch referendum on the Ukrainian association agreement that we can learn from in the UK?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've learned in this house from a very old and wise colleague who unfortunately passed away, Jean-Luc Dehaene, who was Prime Minister of Belgium. And he always told me a referendum will get you an answer to a lot of questions that you did not ask. And this is unfortunately what we saw happening in the Netherlands when it came to the association agreement with Ukraine. Now, of course, the British referendum is different because it's a real in or out referendum. So the consequences you would expect would be clear, but if I follow the debate, they're not really. Some are saying, oh, don't worry, we can stay in and renegotiate. But I'm afraid this is it. So I hope people really go in depth when it comes to informing themselves and make up their minds.
One of the comments of the anti-EU MEPs today was that this will start have a domino effect in other countries. Other countries like France, she even mentioned the Netherlands, will also want a referendum on EU membership. Do you think that's a reality?
Well, if you look at the figures, because of course people have been polling that question, surveying that question, and in the Netherlands for the moment that's not the case. Yes, I do think we feel very close to the UK in the terms that we would like things to change in Europe, but overall people see the advantages of being part of a bigger unity than just your national territory, so to say. We're better off standing together with 28 than trying to renegotiate just by ourselves, just by the Dutch. So people see that advantage.
As an MEP, you also work with national parliaments on a group that looks at the European Parliament's relationship with national parliaments. Can we learn more about how we can involve national parliaments so that they feel more like they are part of the decision-making process here?
Yeah, as responsible Vice President of the EPP Group for Relations with National Parliament, I do think it is in both our interests, the European interest and the national interest, to make sure that national parliaments are involved at a very early stage in European decision-making. It's important to hear what they have to say, and this is something that I'm trying to advance, and I would like to work together with the Brits to advance that agenda, because we feel very strongly about this in the Netherlands, and I believe the UK does as well, and it will help to actually focus the debate on real facts. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed to see that both in the Netherlands when we had the Ukraine referendum, but also in the UK, we seem to have a lot of quotes and beliefs thrown around in the media saying, oh, our contribution to the EU is this high or that high, and none of it is really being checked. So I hope that involving national politics and regional politics, may I add, early enough in European decision making will also make the debate more focused on facts and fairer.